Hello and welcome, my AOT fans. Today I'm going to explain all the 9 Titans' powers and their abilities. Not ranking them because it really depends upon the host of the Titan. For example, we have all seen Ymir's Jaw Titan and Porco Galliard's Jaw Titan. Though being the same Titan shifter, Galliard's Titan was way more powerful than Ymir's Jaw Titan. So, without biting your arm, let's start the video. Let's start with the first shifter we have seen in the series, the Colossal Titan. As the name suggests, this Titan is huge. Its height is greater than any other Titan, except this bastard. That's an exception. Being 60 meters tall, it was even taller than Wall Maria, making this iconic scene which is at least once seen by every person on Earth. Some other powers include an explosive blast at the time of transformation, resembling a nuclear explosion level damage. Only the armored Titan can withstand the damage caused by this explosion. The Colossal Titan is also able to release devastating bursts of steam to ward off enemies or even completely evaporate in seconds. Now that all the abilities of this Titan are covered, let's quickly move on to the next Titan. After covering all the hosts of the Colossal Titan, this series started with Bertold Hoover being its host, later transferred to Armin Arlette after he ate Bertold. Quick trivia here. Levi wanted to revive Erwin instead, but chose to not do so because he believed Erwin already had enough of this accursed world. There is no good for him in bringing him back to life.
You bastard.
Coming up next on the list is the Armored Titan. Covered in hardened armor all around its body, this Titan can withstand almost any level of damage, at least the first few hits. As we already said, the Armored Titan is the only Titan that can survive the Colossal Titan's explosion. Let's discuss some abilities of this Titan too. Being fully covered in this armor, this Titan is relatively slow and less flexible as compared to other Titans of its size. It can cover up for that by dropping a few plates of armor here and there on its joints, making it a bit less secure but relatively faster than before.
I'm fast as fuck, boy.
Till now, we have only seen Reiner Braun as its host. Now, let's move on to my favorite Titan. But before that, please like the video if you were enjoying it. It takes a lot of time and research to create these compilations, so your like will give a boost to our motivation. The Owl Titan, also known as the Attack Titan, is the Titan which is hosted by the main character of the story, Eren Yeager. Isayama was successfully able to hide this Titan's main ability in plain sight for 3 seasons. Aside from looking cool and all, this Titan has some serious abilities that might make many people's eyes shine. No, I'm not talking about the abs. This Titan's host is able to see the future. Yeah, literally have glimpses of the future. Using this ability, Eren manipulated the past hosts of this Titan, bringing us to this final consequence in the story. Yeah, it was all Eren from the start. He manipulated his father into doing everything as per his plan, thanks to Zeke. He was able to do that when Zeke was showing how their father manipulated Eren into doing everything he was doing right now. But the story turns out to be completely opposite. Eren manipulated his father into doing everything as per his plan. There are other cool abilities as well, like hardening. After Eren drank the armor labeled spinal fluid, he could harden certain parts of his body, like the fist, for much more powerful punches. That could even shatter the armored's jaw. Also, he could just harden all of his body as well. That's how he sealed Wall Maria. Throughout history, I think we have seen a lot of hosts for this Titan. Eren Kruger, then Grisha Yeager, and finally, Eren Yeager. Now it's time for the female Titan. I still believe they could have chosen a better name for her, but we can't do anything about it, so let's move on to its abilities. First of all is the hardening. This is the first Titan which showed partial hardening on certain parts. A rather troublesome power, to be honest. She could just harden her nape, and then no one is practically able to kill her with their ODM gear. And Annie Lionheart has to be the most talented shifter in the AOT history, because she could use the Titan powers so perfectly at that age. No one, even Bertold or Reiner, could do that. She did awesome martial arts, could do partial healing for the fast recovery of certain parts, like how at this moment she just healed one of her eyes, completely surprising Levi and Mikasa. Not only that, she could just be back in a human form in an instant and transform into a Titan in another. This ability gave her a serious advantage over other Titans. Her Titan didn't have any special abilities like the Colossal or the armor. She was just flexible, agile, and strong, but was awesome at strategizing and fighting. She could also summon pure Titans in her radius with a screen. Let's talk about the main reason the AOT series exists. The Founding Titan. To be honest, this is the Titan that caused the people of Parody Island all the misery of living behind the walls. And this is the Titan which was the reason for the peace in the outside world as well. So this Titan was inherited by the royal Reese family, and everyone inheriting it was bound with the vow renouncing war. Simply put, the ideology of the first king, Karl Fritz. That simply means I will sacrifice my people's freedom in order to keep the rest of the world at peace. That's something Grisha Jaeger wanted to change. That's why he ate the founding Titan's current host, Frieda Reese, and inherited the founding Titan. As he was not from the royal family, he was free from the vow renouncing war, but he could neither use the founding Titan's abilities. Later in the story, it was revealed that a non-royal blood can also exercise the founding Titan's powers when he is in physical contact with a Titan having royal blood. Now that we have covered the backstory, let's talk about the awesome abilities of this Titan. It can create Titans, control Titan behavior. That's why it's also called the Coordinator. The founding Titan's host can also manipulate the memories of the subjects of Ymir, except the Ackermans. Jaw Titan. As the name suggests, this Titan's jaw is the strongest of all the Titans, covered with a hardened shell outside its face and a short and agile body. It makes for a perfect Titan for an offensive strategy. Also, its claws are hardened as well, making it super effective to lynch big targets and buildings. A point to be noted is that the hardening is not the primary ability of this Titan. The hardened claws and skull that we see on most of its variants might be because of the armor serum. As we can see, Ymir didn't get any hardened claws or skull after inheriting the Jaw Titan from Galliard. This Titan was inherited by Marcel Galliard, then Ymir, and finally Porco Galliard. I think there is something special with Porco's Jaw Titan though. It has a lot of feathers and wing-like structures. Do you think it can fly? Maybe we will get a clear look in the final season, part 3. Cart Titan. This Titan is known for its endurance. It can maintain its form for months, and the host can even come out of this Titan structure temporarily to talk to someone in its human form, and then bury herself back into the Titan body. This Titan can also talk in human language. At the end of the day, this Titan doesn't have many combat abilities. That's why it needs to carry a battalion on its top. That's the reason it's called the Cart Titan. Though this Titan is super fast, and due to its short structure, it's awesome at penetrating into the enemy territory to retrieve something. We have only seen one person as the host of this Titan, that's Peak Finger. Now comes time for the monkey, the Beast Titan. This Titan looks a lot like a chimpanzee, with fur surrounding its body, and it's arguably the second most tall Titan among all the Titan shifters. The main ability of this Titan is something that doesn't resonate much with the AOT world. At least that's what I think. It's a good baseball pitcher. Yeah, you heard it right. The last two inheritors of this Titan were awesome pitchers. That made this Titan synonymous of a long-distance attacker with its deadly projectiles. This Titan is also very smart and can talk in its Titan form as well. Though there is one troublesome natural ability. It can create hundreds of pure Titans with a single scream. If those subjects of Ymir were injected with Zeke's spinal fluid, it is not necessary for him to be in his Titan form. It can be done with just a scream from his human form as well. The hosts of this Titan were Tom Xavier and Zeke Jaeger. Now comes the Warhammer Titan, the Titan which was introduced last in the whole series. Though I can say it's one of the most badass Titan shifters out there. Hardened Shield can create weapons out of thin air, flexible and agile. The host doesn't reside in the name. What else do you want? It contradicts all the disadvantages of hardening we have ever seen. This Titan can create a white hardened layer around its body that is strong and flexible at the same time. It can make spears come out of the ground and can create weapons like oxbow and long hammers out of thin air. This host body is securely kept underground in a hardened shell, which no one but the Jaw Titan can break with its hardened jaw. I think there's just one disadvantage to this shifter. If the cord that connects the host with the Titan body is severed, then the whole Titan body is done for. But it's very difficult to even get close to the Titan due to its strange powers, so I think it's a fair trade. The hosts of these Titans were Laura Tiber and later Eren Jaeger. Subscribe to our channel if you don't want to miss out on any other amazing videos we make about Attack on Titan. Comment down below which Titan would you inherit if you were given a choice. Also, let me know in the comments if you would like to have a video about a specific topic.